Welcome to RC Tech. This is Ritesh Srinivasan. In this video, let us understand the concept of bag of words, term frequency, inverse document frequency, TF-IDF vectorizer, cosine similarity in the context of natural language processing. We'll also see how these concepts can be implemented using Python. If you are new here and you like such content, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Let us look at some definitions. A corpus is a collection of documents. Vocabulary is a collection of all words present in a corpus. Bag of words is a model in which text such as sentence or a document is represented as the bag of its words, disregarding the grammar and even word order, but keeping count of words. Let us look at an example. So here we have two documents which are basically two sentences. The first sentence is Sachin is a great Indian cricket player. The second sentence is Virat is the captain of the Indian cricket team. These two documents constitute our corpus because a corpus is nothing but a collection of documents. Now if you look at the bag of words representation for each of these documents, you see here that we just put the word which is present over here. Against it we also put the count or how many times it appears in this document. So for example, for the first document, you see here Sachin is present once. Similarly, all the words are present once. Similarly, if you look at the second document, Virat is present once, but the word the is present twice. From bag of words, we can create a vector representation for each document in the corpus. This is obtained by collecting all the words in the corpus, which is your vocabulary. Every document will be represented by a vector whose length is equal to the length of the vocabulary. For example, if you look over here, we have close to 12 words. Hence, every document is represented using a vector of length 12. And if you look at the first document, you see that the word Sachin is a great Indian cricket player. So these are the words in the first document. So, and each of them appears only once. So you have one against these words. Similarly, if you look at the second sentence, you have the words Virat is the captain of the Indian cricket team. So the word the appears twice and rest of the words appear once. For the first document, you don't have the words Virat, the team of captain. Hence, you have zeros over here. So now we have got a vector representation for each of these documents, which can be used for further processing. But the main disadvantage of this representation is that the common words which are present, like is, the, of, which are known as stop words, they have a higher weightage when compared to say uncommon words. And these common words may not give any useful information about the text. Now let us look at two definitions. The first one is term frequency. Term frequency is nothing but the number of times a word occurs in a document. So you have a TF or term frequency of a term T in a document D is nothing but, again, as I said, the count of the number of time a word occurs in a document, right? The next one is inverse document frequency. Inverse document frequency is nothing but the number of documents that contain a particular word. So IDF or inverse document frequency for a term T belonging to a set of documents D is calculated as log of n divided by the number of documents where the term T appears, right? Where n is the total number of documents. Now let us look at term frequency, inverse document frequency, or TF-IDF measure. The TF-IDF measure of a term T in a document D in a set of documents or a corpus C is equal to the product of the term frequency of the term in the document D multiplied by the inverse document frequency of the term T. Now what this does effectively is uncommon words in a document or rare words spread across some documents would have a higher value of TF-IDF. whereas common words which are spread across documents will have a almost zero value for TF-IDF. So in this process, the common words, stop words are actually filtered and only words which are important for a document are retained. Now, using this TF-IDF measure, we can create a vector representation or a bag of words representation for a document as shown here. So for a document, you can replace each of the word or term frequencies by the TF-IDF score, and hence you can create a vector as shown over here. Now let us look at a very common similarity measure for comparing any two documents. The similarity measure is known as cosine similarity. The cosine similarity or cos theta of any two vectors A and B is calculated as the inner product of A and B divided by their respective magnitudes. In the case of text matching, the vectors A and B are nothing but the TF-IDF vectors of the documents. Cosine similarity is a method of normalizing the document length during comparison, and in the case of information retrieval, cosine similarity of any two document is in the range of 0 to 1, as TF-IDF values are not negative, and the value is close to 1 when the documents are very close to each other, as cos of 0 is equal to 1. And if you have the angle is quite far from each other, that means that the documents are not that close to each other. So in this way you can actually compare if any two documents are closer or similar to each other. Now let us look at how these concepts can be implemented in Python. I'm importing the necessary libraries. I'm creating a corpus of 4 sentences. Each document is a sentence. I am then creating a vocabulary for this corpus. So we have 18 words over here, and we also have how many times they appear in the corpus. Now let us look at how we can compute the document term frequency matrix. So if you look at the document term frequency matrix, we have 4 rows and 18 columns. The 18 columns are nothing but the words from the vocabulary, and the 4 rows are for each of the documents. Now if you look at most of the values over here, it is a 1 because each word appears in the document only once, except for the word the in the document 4. Now let us compute the IDF value for all the terms present in the corpus. So if you look at the IDF computation over here, I have added a 1 to both the numerator and denominator. This is called as IDF smoothing. This is to take care of the case where when we have test documents which has some words, and these words in the test documents are not present in our training corpus. If you were to use the normal IDF computation formula, then you will get a divide by 0 error. To avoid this, we assume that we have this term present in the corpus, hence we add a 1 to both the numerator and denominator of the IDF computation. Now let us look at the IDF values of the terms. So if you look at the IDF values of the terms, it's again you have a 18 into 1 matrix where you have 18 terms and their IDF scores. Now that we have the term document frequency matrix and the IDF value of all the terms in the corpus, we can now compute the TF IDF values for all the documents present in the corpus. So this is done by multiplying the term frequency of each word with its IDF value for all the terms in the document. So if you look over here, the words which are common have a very low value, whereas the rare words like names over here, Sachin, Virat, and these have high TF-IDF values. We can use the TF-IDF vectorizer class from the scikit-learn package to compute TF-IDF values for a set of documents in a corpus. To do this, we create a vectorizer object from the TF-IDF vectorizer class by passing the appropriate parameters, and then we pass the list of documents in the corpus to the fit transform method of the vectorizer object. The fit transform method does the internal computation of the TF-IDF values for the documents in the corpus. Now if we look at the computed TF-IDF scores, it is very similar to the computation done by us in the previous code. So the TF-IDF vectorizer class provides a very convenient way to compute TF-IDF values for a set of documents in a corpus. Now that we have computed the TF-IDF scores for the documents in the corpus, we can use cosine similarity to compute the similarity between the documents in the corpus. To compute cosine similarity, we use the cosine similarity method from scikit-learn package. To this method, we pass the TF-IDF values of the documents in the corpus. Let us look at the cosine distance similarity scores now for the documents. If you look at the scores, you can see that document 2 and document 3 can form a group because they are similar to each other, whereas document 1 and document 4 are different from this group. So in this way, we can use TF-IDF features and cosine distance similarity to group the documents in a corpus. This is one of the applications of TF-IDF and cosine similarity. There are many other applications of TF-IDF and cosine similarity in the field of text processing. In summary, I have explained bag of words model, TF-IDF and cosine similarity for processing text. I have uploaded the code in GitHub. You can check it out. Thank you for watching the video. If you like such videos, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, share and provide comments. Please press the bell icon to get notifications. See you in the next video.